Yup. More rain due.
Hey, I want to make note that this video is probably only going to be interesting for collectors of this particular line of Spacemen. I tried to get detailed as I could in demonstrating the differences between the varieties that I've been able to get examples of.
Right on, guys. What's said to be a Marx Toys, and I believe it, Swoppet style Spaceman figure. We do not see the Marx logo on the oxygen or equipment pack, but it has the painted details consistent with the Marx production. The painted feet consistent with the Marx production. And the helmet antenna, which I've only seen on Marx Swoppet. Ho ho, no snow. It's gonna be in the 70s today in Syracuse. It was just snowing. Look at the sandwich tray. Hey, whatever gets it there, and as long as it is in priority mail packaging. And here we have a very nice assortment of Swoppets. Tile Spacemen. There's a Marx style Swoppet with his painted equipment pack.
Looks like it was a long day at the Marx plant the day he was painted.
No painted pack. No painted pack. There's a painted pack. Although I dare say that head is mismatched. No painted pack. Interesting color combo. No painted pack. No painted pack. And no painted pack. So yeah, I think that green head is mismatched on that red body, and will demonstrate the plug head nature of the Swoppet space forms. Yeah, now that makes more sense.
Still mismatched. Still not a Marx color, but it goes better with the body. So on we go.
Yeah, what the heck, let's turn this into a full-blown Swoppets update. Due to the arrival of that gorgeous thing, I had to rearrange this portion of the ogle wall and place my 3 sealed Swoppet sets together. We've got the Space Explorers with 3 figures, a pop gun, and a friction flying saucer. The Moon Base Alpha crew with their painted equipment packs, which is consistent with Marx Toys versions of these, although I don't know if there's any connection between Nucor and Marx, or just when it was packaged, and that's cool. And then we've got the Beta Cake Decor Space Station set with birthday candles and American flag. And then, interestingly, the same 3 poses for all 3 packs. 43 Swoppet style Spaceman figures, dating from the mid-60s, maybe a little bit earlier, through the early 1980s. And there's a 54mm MPC Spaceman with his rope and sextant to show the size differential. Swoppets are about 3 inches. So I've arranged them here by pose and likely manufacturer. How about that? Since I don't know for sure who made them, other than the ones with the bases are Cherilea figures, and the ones that have the Marx logo on their packs, like that guy there, are definitely Marx. Cherilea believed to have originated the form in the early 1960s. 1962 is a likely date. And new information is that their original form did not include the clip-on bases. The original form were pod feet. And this is unconfirmed information. I'm going to check with Toy Soldier HQ. Whether or not the yellow fella here is a Cherilea, I don't know. But other than the clip-on bases, he shares all of their attributes, namely soft plastic equipment pack. He's made out of a stiff plastic. I wouldn't call it soft, harder than Army Man plastic, with no markings anywhere. I took all their packs off earlier and examined them, and the Cherileas with the bases do not have any markings either. The type of plastic used is different. One of the issues with the Cherilea pieces is that most of mine have a fractured limb. So the Cherilea plastic has sort of gone bad over the years, where this one's plastic is still, I've never had a problem with it. He came with it as well, as did this one here with his rope and digging tool or spade or pick, whatever it's supposed to be. And like the Cherilea figure, his figure has no markings anywhere on it, and their equipment pack appears to bear resemblance to each other. So these may actually represent the earlier Cherilea forms rather than being copies of them, which is what I'd been thinking all along, just because of how unelaborate they are compared to the Cherilea figures with the bases. The Marx Swoppets are distinguishable from the Cherilea Swoppets, not only in that they have no clip-on bases, but they have painted features, most specifically their equipment packs, which are cast in a rubber-like substance. Very flexible. And again, I took all their packs off. Some of these are marked Hong Kong. I believe I have 6 that bear Marx Toys logos. There's one pose. So a total of 6 poses originated by Cherilea. There's one pose. There's another pose. So there's 2. There's 3 poses. There's 4 poses. This is a wrecked up version of that. So there's 5 poses. And then I don't have an example of a Cherilea in this position yet, but that would be the 6th pose. For whatever reason, Marx Toys did not replicate the pick and rope pose, and they did not adapt the, I guess that's a Geiger counter pose, and they did not adapt the pistol and rifle pose. You can see his arm there is broken, by the way. He's supposed to be holding that rifle there. So there's potentially 1 variety of Swoppet. There's 2 varieties of Swoppets. The Marx represents a 3rd variety of Swoppets. The 4th variety of Swoppets would be represented by the batch that just came in. The 5th variety that I have are these here, standing with the Geiger counter. And we're going to go with the pod foot Cherilea, or suspected podfoot Cherilea, and you can see that the green one is a hair and a half smaller. He has no painted features, and his equipment pack is cast in a rubber substance, like the Marx Swoppets, but with no painted features. So the fifth variety that I have are these here standing with the Geiger counter. I believe these three here in the middle came out of a Gay Gems cake decoration set. This one came with a lot purchase of some other figures. And these two here on the end probably came with another lot. And I regard them as different than those three and the blue one in that their helmet markings bear a resemblance to the Cherilea helmet markings. So I removed one of their equipment packs, and they're all marked the same way, HK number 206. And I have no idea what the significance of that is. This is also a flexible Army Man type plastic rather than the rubbery Marx packs or these, which are also cast in rubber as well. Alright, so here's the pack off of this guy as well with a little bit of a stain to it. And again, Hong Kong number 206. So these all have Hong Kong number 206 on their packs, which none of the others have. Alright, so just to show that I'm not soft in the head. So here they are disassembled. Both of their packs have a sort of soft, rubbery feel to the material. This one has no markings on it at all other than decorative elements, and is of course hand painted. This one has no painted details, but if we look on the obverse side of the belt, on either side of the peg, you can hopefully see that it's very lightly marked Hong Kong. This is a Marx pack. This is an unknown pack.
Now, as we learn from this carded set of Swoppet Spacemen, which is not in my collection, unfortunately, along the bottom there's a text that says that the card itself was printed in Hong Kong, but the contents were made in Taiwan. So that could be why there's no made in Hong Kong on the equipment pack as there are on some.
And they share like enough details to conclude that the same molding, tooling, machinery must have been used to cast both. This is a Marx Swoppet with the orange head, unknown, but in the Marx style. Alright, let's try it again with this pair here, which you would think are the same thing, but they're not. So the one on the left is our Marx Toys example. Its pack, again, a flexible rubber-like material adorned most prominently with a Marx Toys logo there. No marking on the obverse side of the belt. Unknown, soft rubbery material, more flexible than the Marx, and again I think it's because it's newer or more recent, and it again is marked very lightly with Hong Kong on the obverse side of the belt. The figures themselves bear no markings on them anywhere, at least none that my eye can detect, with the white one being unknown, anonymous Hong Kong production, and the yellow one being Marx. Both are stiff plastic, near the same material, but we note that the Marx figure also has painted boots and pod feet, whatever you want to call them, which are actually two applications of paint, not just one. The boot is one color and the surrounding pod another. And of course the anonymous unknown has no paint anywhere. On the left is a Marx head, on the right an unknown head. I've never removed one of these from their helmets, and I'm not about to start now. Helmet types are, again, different, but they vary from figure to figure by manufacturer as well. And I've always wondered if maybe some designer at Cherilea took like a Roman gladiator figure, including its helmet, and said, you know, if we just added an oxygen tank to this and gave it a rifle instead of a spear, we got space guys. But who knows? Okay, so these two, again, are believed to be Marx. I don't think I even have to take them apart. You can see right there, Hong Kong, made in, nothing, Marx Toys logo. Yeah, on the left, a representation of what I believe this figure looked like, complete as a Cherilea, although it's pretty much held together with sticky putty right now. I don't bother trying to glue things like this. The glue just will never take. This head's loose, but I will risk taking. There's its design. No markings on its obverse side. Same kind of plastic as the other. Absolutely no markings anywhere. Yeah, they're different. They're different design packs. This one has sort of a cross hatching on its oxygen hose, where the red one has like a traditional ribbed oxygen hose, and I have no idea what the significance of it may be, other than this pack was known to have been made by Cherilea, and this one. And just to be complete, let's look at the body of what may be an early Cherilea figure for any markings. And let's look at the known Cherilea, or what's left of him. And again, there are no markings. Pardon the piece of putty. I'd flick it off, but I'm afraid I'd snap one of his pegs off there. No marking to the underside of the base. I've seen them in gray. I've seen them in green. Helmet design is different, but it tends to vary within figure sets. But that's what they look like. On the left, suspected Cherilea. On the right, known Cherilea. So Marx never picked up on that pose, and they apparently never picked up on that pose or that one, which is why you don't see this series having that pose or that one. Only the ones that Marx pursued, kneeling, hands out, and radar dish held up, or whatever the heck that's supposed to be. They're in the Marx style, but they don't have the painted features. Their plastic is different. They just feel newer too. And I believe that they're related to this set here and the cake decoration set here. Although this one bears a made in China. The Moonbase Alpha set have the painted packs consistent with Marx, but they do not have any Marx logos on their belts. I was thinking about doing comparisons of all the figures in that manner, but just the exporting the video files from the phone
And then editing together takes so long that it's keeping me from doing other things. So what I'm going to do is make up a photo archive, put it on my blog, showing a forensic examination of each individual figure, and then class them up by suspected maker. And again, I'm going to say there's 4, if not 5 varieties here on the table. Cherilea, Marx, whoever in Hong Kong was reusing Marx's molds, and then the cake decoration people.
Ash, can you see this?
Yes, I can.
If anybody knows or knows where to find a guide to these things, link me up, hit me up, message, comment, email. I gots to know what the deal is with these things. I just gots to know.